Hi, everybody. Career Advisor Drew Barksdale here to follow up in the continuation of our outreach to alumni. So from our example that we showed in prior videos, we're going to continue with the connection with Colin Scanlon. And so we're going to walk through how to script a well-formatted email that you will send out to alumni to connect professionally with them. So let's move to my email where I drafted up a sample email that you could send to an alumni in some way, shape, or form. In this initial email, the first and most important part is using an effective subject line. So in this example, I use the subject line, career advice for a Boston College sophomore. Somewhere in your subject line, you want to include BC, especially if you're reaching out to BC alumni, because they are more likely to look at it. And from an alumni's perspective for work, they receive hundreds of emails a day. So something that has BC in the name will definitely stand out. So outside of the subject line, general format for the email, you want to keep it simple, 4 to 5 sentences, and make sure you avoid grammatical mistakes. Before you send the email, when you're drafting it, just a piece of advice, don't include the email of who you're sending it to until you've drafted the email and reread it to make sure it's free of mistakes. You don't want to get into a position where you're working on an email and you accidentally send it before you're ready to send and there's mistakes in there. So make sure that you do not include their name until you're ready to send. So in the first line, the greetings line, you want to make sure you address the alumni by their first name. Hi, Colin. You want to avoid using Mr. or Mrs. because this screams a form email, so an email that you send to a lot of people. So you want to make it very personal and introduce and address them by their first name. The next line, the introduction line, is getting right to the point. Who you are. My name is Drew Barksdale and I'm a rising sophomore at VC. So a little bit of background on yourself and mention, and after you give the background information, you want to mention how you found their information. So I found you through LinkedIn and was impressed by your professional background. So in these first 2 lines, we cover who we are and how you found their information. In the next line, the ask line, we want to be as specific as possible. So you want to inform the reader of this email why you are reaching out. So in my example, I would like to set up a 15-minute call with you at your convenience to discuss your industry and the path you chose to get there. I'm in the process of trying to figure out what I want to do after graduation, and I have done some research into this field, but really want to benefit from the advice of someone who has experience in the field. So in this ask, you're being specific on what you're looking to get out of this email, what you're looking to get from the alumni. You don't want to be vague with alumni, you want to be straight to the point. Other things you can ask about why you're reaching out maybe could be learning more about the industry, for general career advice specific to you, to feedback on your resume or experiences that you may have, and general advice as you go along the process. After you make the ask, it's important that you give thanks to the alumni and have them do the driving of when and where you meet. So whether that's in person, over Zoom, over a phone call, you want to give the thanks to the alumni and leave the ball in their park for where it's best and appropriate to have a conversation. So in our example, if you're able to find time for a brief call, please respond with any availability you may have in the near future. I look forward to hearing from you. And then you say, thanks in advance for any time you can provide. So you're giving thanks to the alumni. After that, you want to make sure that your signature is appropriate. So you sign off, best regards, thanks, name, and then if you have an email signature, you want to make sure it's appropriate and gives background to the alumni. So in mine, I have my full name, my position, and where I work. For you as a student, you may include your concentration, you may include your cell phone number, you may include your email address, just anything that you feel is appropriate, for this email. So once you've drafted this email, you've read it or you've reread it, make sure there's no grammatical errors in this email, you're ready to put the contact information and hit send. Now, some final follow-ups to this when you're looking to email. Give the alumni 5 to 7 business days to respond to your email. So if you send an email on Monday of this week, wait until the following Monday if you haven't heard of a response. So give the alumni some time. They might be busy. It might be a busy period in their calendars, and they'll get back to it. If you haven't heard from them in 5 to 7 days, send a follow-up. That's more than okay. Once the alumni responds to you in the email, make sure that you are prepared, and make sure that you are prepared for any future coffee chat or online or phone conversation that you may have. Nothing screams lack of professionalism more than not being prepared for the conversation that you wanted to set up. And the last piece of advice, both in the networking call and in the email itself, never ask for a job, an interview, an internship from the alumni. Let that come up conversationally when you're talking with the alumni. Let it be natural. So those are a few highlights to sending an email to an alumni, BC alumni, and this can work for just a general industry professional as well. These are tips of best practice, and definitely use them as you are constructing and developing your network and moving forward in the career search. Thanks for watching.